Warning, the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Southern Fried Paranormal with Len Dorman featuring Bones. Catch us on Spotify, iHeart, iTunes, Spreaker, Facebook, Stream, and everywhere else you catch your podcasts. And of course, WLFE-DB.com. Now, from the backwoods of southeast Arkansas, right beside the Bayou Bartholomew, the longest bayou on the planet, broadcasting from downtown metropolitan Cane Creek Township, here is your host, Len Dorman.
Here I am, and here we go. This will be the show tonight. Britney, Jean Carlstrom, and Chris Garcia. We're going to bring them out of their graves, out of their caskets. The doors slowly creep open. Chris ain't been out of his in years, so the rusty hinges are creaking. They're slowly coming open. And then they zip out of their caskets and bang their head on the chandelier that they forgot was hanging over the caskets. Excuse me, that was a bit from Dead and Loving It.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I'm excited.
How are y'all?
I'm feeling good today. That's me.
Well, wait a minute. Let me put my hand on the screen so I can get a feel myself. Let me see how you feel. Oh, yeah. I got my hand on the screen. You feel pretty good.
Yeah, no. And I'm actually enjoying this. And you know what, guys? We actually did talk to Lynn about this. We just kept it hush hush because me and Brittany were talking about it one day in the chat. And we said, you know what? We're just going to ask Lynn if we can do this because something that it just drew me in because I just so drawn to Jeepers Creepers and the Mothman. And you can be surprised that there is a link and only we know. So thank you, Brett, for coming on.
You're welcome.
So this is kind of interesting. So how did we start it off, Lynn? Do you want to talk about whatever? You just want to see whatever pops up first, or what?
Well, okay. This is a adult show, but it's halfway clean, so I'm not going to talk about the first thing that pops up.
Okay. So the Mothman behind the scenes has been a folktale for many, many years.
Yes.
And there is stories that, and I've seen it, where every time something before it occurred, he always showed up. He always showed up. There is a video that we have that I had to share. And it's just amazing to find out that this thing has a major link to everything. Then I'm gonna send you different different videos that you want to provide with. So we're just gonna start off with the Mothman.
Just hit present, hit video, and send it to me right here.
Okay, I already did. And then we can go with it.
Did you send it to me on Facebook, or did you send it to me here in StreamYard?
I sent it to you on Messenger. I don't know how to do it on Messenger. I don't know how to do that shit.
Okay.
So
you see straight down where your nose is. Just go straight down to the bottom of the screen, and it says present.
I don't know where that's at.
That bottom of the screen.
No, I don't see it.
You should have a present button.
I only have more, camera, and chat.
You don't have a present button.
No, sir.
Okay. I guess
so
I'll have to open up Facebook and go over there.
Oh, and Levi, while you're at it, I had told my friend Jess that to send you a request. She said that she couldn't find it. So, did she have to go to Southern Fried Paranormal? Because I know how sometimes people can't find. Because I don't know why. Um,
Uh, as long as we're as long as we're friends, I mean, it's just a page off my profile. If she's going to my profile and we're friends, it's right there. All you got to do is click on the page, and you have your choice. So you get Southern Fried Paranormal with a picture of the fried chicken, or you can go to the Sea Arc PS, which has I believe an infrared photo.
I told her to send you a friend request. So while I'm doing that, I'm multiple tasking right now. And again, I'm always used to doing this. So I'll do the screenshot. Oh, for Jazz, I don't know if you have a link. We can put that in chat because we have a different chat that we're in. Hold on. But you can. I sent you the pictures right now. Oh, so I'm multiple tasking tonight. But then again, I always
You're
multitask.
you're you're multiplying.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing multiple things at once.
Yes, and that's the thing I like to do because it keeps me busy. So, did you get the pictures then?
Yes.
You can show the pictures if you want. That's due to Jeepers Creepers. There is some that we can link, and we can tell them that there's a link between both.
Wait a minute. I thought you told me not to show those pictures you sent me the other day.
Huh?
You told me not to post those pictures you sent me the other day.
Well, you can. You can. But the links I send you
Oh,
pictures, but we can do them.
you talking about the new photos you sent me,
Yes, sir.
not the ones you sent me about 3 4 days ago.
Oh my God, you're making a joke out of this. Oh my God. Oh, you know what? I remember we were talking about that at 3 in the morning when y'all were talking about girl things. Everybody says, "Oh, I got a pink one." Yeah, I got a pink one too. Yeah, that was crazy. Just saying. Oh shit. But
Well,
so
you know I've got a pink one because that's what color I am.
okay. So guys, we're just gonna talk about the mountain while he's getting these pictures. Um, if y'all went, well, we'll start with Jeepers Creepers. If you go back to the movies, if y'all recall, there's this road down Michigan, which is in Michigan. It's a 19. Hold on, let me just do my research because I have it back here. Oh, there is the truck there. So that truck is a 1940 run Chevy Rusty vehicle. That was in the movie. Um, it's just a beautiful thing, by the way. And I remember they were driving in a car, and this car was driving, behind them, and it was starting to speed. They didn't know why. The car, I mean, that truck just went and swerved. So they happened to decide to follow it, and then that's when that boy found those tunnels, and we find out later that in that scene, which we have to probably see the movie again, um, there's a scoop by there. Hi, Jess. See, I told you we'd find it.
Now,
So,
before we get off
um,
the truck, can you see the tag?
no, sir. I can see the
B
picture, but I
E
can't see the.
BEAT, beat and go.
Oh, wow.
Here it is, right
Is
there.
that what it's? Wow.
Look at it closely.
That is.
BEATNGO or
Uh,
GU.
that is. You know what? It's funny how we're doing a lot of research. And by the way, as he's showing that beautiful, rusty, creepy truck.
Beating
Um.
you is what that is. BNU.
Wow. Learn something every day. Very interesting. But you know what?
And
And
here's the
there is
school
the
you're
there
referring
is,
to.
yes, and it was right behind it.
Hmm.
Now, as I recall, I don't remember seeing that because it was dark, and they probably just, or I guess the cameraman decided just to be to the main attraction. Behind it, there was a ditch that he decided to make, and he happened to dump bodies. That it was that Jeepers Creepers with that ugly looking face had decided to dump the bodies in this little tunnel, and the guy that was the main attraction of the movie decided to pull over and said, "You know what? We'll come back later because he's doing something." Because as he was dumping the body, you could see it from far away. He was passing by, and he's like looking at it like, "What the hell is that?" So it was like it was just so weird that it's just there's a connection to the movie that we're talking about, and Lynn actually opened. It's creepy how it's related. Um, but from part one, part two, there is scenes in between the movie that is actually really amazing. So, Lynn, I don't know if you want to give them the details on the background how the Jeepers Creepers is related to Mothman, or we can just go one at a time. It's up to you. Or Brittany, if you want to say a little bit of something, what you found out, and see what your aspects think about it. What do you have to say, Brett?
Um, well, it says several critics of moviegoers believe the film was loosely inspired by the case of Dennis DePue in the state of Michigan in 1990. Brother and sister Ray and Marie Thornton caught DePue dumping his dead wife's body behind an abandoned schoolhouse.
And we find out that it is connected. And speaking of that, when you say his wife, so that's telling me that Jeepers Creepers was married, according to what it sounds like when you're reading that. Um, Knowing that that guy when his eyeballs were taken out, I don't remember the main actor. I forgot his that guy with the little. He was young in that movie. He looked to me. He looked very young. I would say he looked like in his 20s to me, but he could have been 16. I don't know. But it is linked, guys, to the Mothman. You'll be surprised that the producer that made Jeepers Creepers had some kind of connection to the Mothman. That's how they made this movie. So while the Mothman's doing a lot of paranormal stuff and been seen at different locations, the same person that made had seen the Mothman made Jeepers Creepers. So there's a lot of history that links them together. The only thing is that Lynn said that the Mothman wasn't. I guess he's not scary looking. So Jeepers Creepers made him look uglier, but just the same aspects. And the only thing that's a little bit different is the wings span
Yes.
and how the shape of the body is and the eyes. That's the only thing that's
Well,
different.
it's all. It's also you got to deal with Hollywood and copyright issues because
Yes.
if all of a sudden if you don't have copyright to use a character, you're done. You just don't use it in your movie. Books are a little bit more liberal in because there's not as much money in books. But if they find out you're making a movie or a TV show on copyrighted material, well, it's like that photo I sent Disney. Which, by the way, Disney, you've not sent me a paycheck yet. I'm waiting on my paycheck. You hear me, Dan Evers? He's the CEO of Disney. I have not gotten my check in the mail yet, so I'm waiting.
Yep. Yeah, and it's just amazing. But it is linked. But it's creepy though that knowing that this crazy movie is linked, and we were actually talking about it before the show. In part two, they were going to a game, and from what it left off from the first part of the movie, where his eyes were just already, he had his eyes already taken out. Part two is where he's running to the bus, telling them, "Stop! You're gonna get killed." And he actually hit him with it's kind of like a ninja thing. I mean, it was huge, by the way. It was with bones, right? Then, what was it made of? Can you tell them what it was made out of?
The uh, I believe it was three prong spinner thing that he shot hit the tires with was based on what ninja stars that you see when you see ninja movies. That's what it's based on. Just a little bit bigger, and what was made of was leatherized skin, human skin, and sharpened human bone.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Now, it's kind of weird because I remember, Brittany, when you said they made the movie, it was in when? 19, what? So, when they made the movie, a Mothman was already discovered, but they just somehow made it into a movie. So, it is kind of creepy
Mm-hmm.
how they're linked together. And the only thing that really gets me is the eyes. The eyes were Mothman were red, and the Mothman's body was just linked to whoever he decided to kill. And then if somebody killed him, he would actually kill the other person and put his head over the body, and that's kind of disgusting. But
But
that's how
you remember
he,
the one
yeah.
scene they shot when he finally got that young guy and pulled his eyes out? He found out he was in
Hmm.
a basement of some building somewhere, and the guy had a workshop, except he was dealing with human materials, taking parts of humans
Wow.
and using them to himself. That was a very scary part of the movie. Like I said, I think the issue may have been either one, they wanted to come up with something a little bit different than Mothman, something scary and more horrible than Mothman, or they did not have the copyright and could not get the copyright to make a proper Mothman movie because somebody else owned the rights, and they wanted $10 million to make them use the rights. Unlike I did with Disney, I gave you a discount. Yes, I'm
Wow.
vindictive about that, but that could have been the problem because having dealt with copyright issues, if somebody else owns copyright, you can't use it. If you remember the movie League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the Invisible Man had a different name than the movie The Invisible Man. The reason being is that they could not buy the copyright for Invisible Man. They couldn't use it, and the people who own the copyright didn't want to let them have it, or was going to charge them too
Mm.
much money for it. So they had to, real quick, like in a sentence, give a different origin story. He just said he stole the formula for Invisible Man, and he had a different name. Uh,
Wow.
so you got to change things in movies because of copyright. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's why
they
they did
used
it.
Tom Sawyer and only mentioned Sawyer once because there was something a discrepancy about having the Tom Sawyer copyright. They couldn't talk about his past at all, even though he was in the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He was fully grown and worked for the U.S. government. So some
Mm.
things, if things are copyrighted and either you can't contact them or whoever owns the copyright said, "Nah, I don't want you to do that." You just can't do it, or you got to change the name, or you got to change the origin story. And I just wonder if the producers, director, just said, "Okay, let's not make a Mothman movie, but let's kind of base it on Mothman," or they said, "I'd like to do a Mothman movie, but to get the copyright to to Mothman, is going to cost me so much money. I don't want to pay for that, so we'll get something similar. And come up with Jeepers Creepers. That's your link, I think. And it's just it could come to he wanted something different, or two, there was copyright issues. In almost every movie being made now, there's copyright issues somewhere. Like Disney, to use my photos, they had to contact me, which is not easy because they did not have my proper email, did not have my proper Facebook page, and they were looking for me all over the place and finally found me to get copyright photos. They wanted to air that they'd already put it in the show. They wanted to air the show Monday, and they didn't copyright me till Friday before that Monday. So we had to rush through a day of talking to figure out prices and how we're going to do this. And they'd already put the show together using my stuff. And they were a little bit desperate.
Yeah, and it's funny too because the Mothman was I don't know what I want to say in PA is where the statue's at. There's got a lot of areas where they can buy items of Mothman there. And the thing about the Mothman, it was kind of people don't even know what it is. People have just seen red eyes.
Well,
To
there's
me,
been a
I
lot of
think it's the
sightings around Chicago.
Yeah, and it's just amazing how every time he showed up, there was always a disaster. Like the bridge. The bridge before, there were warned people that there was this, before the bridge collapsed, these anonymous people that we can't say had told them, do not go on this bridge on this day because that bridge is going to collapse. And then the people asked these anonymous people that were dressed in a certain color, certain uniforms, when they went to go and look for them, they disappeared.
Right.
And not even a week later, the bridge collapsed, and people died because during the time when they died, the water was cold. So they just froze to death. They got hypothermia, if I can say that right.
Right.
So
Depending on
they
the
died.
temperature of the water, you can get hypothermia in 15, 20 minutes. They say the Titanic people that hit the water, they were in hypothermia in literally about 3 to 4 minutes. That's about all the time they had.
Wow.
Because that cold, of course, that was freezing water they had. The only reason it was not frozen into ice is because it was salt water, which freezes at a lower temperature than fresh water. So you get dunked in 25, 28 degree water, you don't have long to live. You need to get out of there. Somebody's got to pull you out. You've got to climb out. You've got to get out. And you've only got 2 to 3 minutes to get out before you lose consciousness or the ability to move.
Yeah, it sure is. But see, that's just how everything is so linked. And I personally think that there was, I'm not going to go there because I always do that shit on the show, that I do believe the Mothman is military connected, which we haven't linked that yet, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
And
it can be faked so easily because all it takes is a person and a little bit dressed up. Went and modified that much. I call it the flying squirrel outfit. You've seen those people with the flying squirrel outfits, and they can literally fly. Of course, they're gliding. And you've also got people going around where they just get a tricycle shopping cart, basically, and put a great big fan on the back of it, and maybe a little bit of air balloon behind over the top of them, and next thing you know, they're flying. And then you've got, of course, drones, where you can hang anything you want from a drone and fly it around. And those things are quiet now. I mean, look what Ukraine is doing with drones. They're making drones out of literal string, pieces of wire, and wood, and they've knocked out a good fraction of the oil producing power of Russia because they hit their main oil refinery and knocked part of it offline with a couple of homemade drones. So the drone technology that's today is amazing.
Hmm.
But
I think it's mainly,
Mothman goes further back though, before there were drones. I mean, nobody
see,
had a
that's what,
drone in 1980
see,
or
they didn't have
before.
none of that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know what? It's funny how you're talking about the drones. I've seen them to where they're even putting weapons on them now, to where they
Well,
have
that's what I
little
said.
shot.
They
They're
attacked
making
the
shit.
oil refinery. They put some good sized explosives to a few drones and hit that refinery, and then exploded the explosive on the drones remotely. The
Hmm.
the food carriers. I mean, this is sad. I feel sorry for the people, including a couple of Americans that were killed in Gaza this past week, where the Israelis, uh, for whatever reason, hit the International Food Kitchen truck, even though their logo was on top of it. And they didn't hit it with an airstrike; they hit it with a drone strike. They fired a rocket from a drone and went right down
Wow.
into the roof of the truck, and of course killed everybody inside. And they had nothing on board but food, where they were trying to feed the starving Palestinians.
Wow. That is very interesting.
That's the power of the drones nowadays. They're very potent weapons.
Seeing that, and I'm trying to wonder what did the drones, and like you said, when they make the Jeepers Creepers and all this stuff that we're talking about, they didn't even have drones even then.
I know.
So, so where did they get the idea? Did they get the idea from something flying that we just still don't know what the hell it is? I think they did. There's something that we're not aware of that they just don't want us to know. It's what I see. They just don't want us to know. And doing all the research and what we've done tonight, even though it's a little bit of research, there has been sightings of him anonymously. No one can get a clear picture of him. All you see is red eyes before. And then it's funny because I was actually even thinking this, and it's just so random. I'm just gonna throw this out there. If you look at owls at night, owls have red eyes, and they expand on owls. It's probably just the body itself from here to the arm, the wings are pretty long. So the body's like real skinny and fine. So why am I throwing that out there? Why am I thinking of owls and Mothman and Jeepers Creepers? Is there a similarity? Even though the owls are birds, but there is some kind of just, and it's funny because I'm seeing like the most owls that you have, like the moth colors that are like a brownish with little spots, and stuff like that. And then it's funny how we're talking about the Mothman. Now, when I see butterflies, I've seen the moths, like the real moths, and those fuckers are big. That's just a big ass butterfly, and they're about this long. Now, could that be coincidence that we're all talking about all at once? What really is a Mothman? Is it a butterfly human? Who knows? It makes you wonder, and when you put everything in perspective, and see, and the way I work is I don't write down what I'm gonna talk about. It just comes out of my fucking mouth. And usually talk about shit like this, it turns into something just bigger picture.
Well, my
And
theory about it is they're trans-dimensional. That's why you can't get a clear picture of them. They're not entirely in our reality, and they can fade in and out like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, whatever you want to call them. I believe they are trans-dimensional, and that's why nobody. You get footprints, and you get a muddy patch of half-dried creek bed or wherever they're getting the footprints. You see two or three footprints, or maybe just one. Where the rest of the footprint? It's like somebody was walking and didn't get anywhere. They just the footprints are gone. Did they just come into
mhm.
our plane of existence for a few seconds, take 2 or 3 steps, and fade back into their own dimension. And same thing with
Hmm.
Mothman. You
He
try
disappears.
to take a picture of something that's trans-dimensional. Your picture's going to be blurry every time because as they transfer from one dimension to the other, they're not entirely in a reality. So you pick up a very blurry picture.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder, right, where did he come from? Is he one of God's prophets? It just blows my mind as we're talking about this, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where am I getting all this shit from? Where is it coming from?
Well,
Knowledge is power.
it goes back to
Knowledge is
okay,
power.
where is hell and where is heaven? We know that there's nothing under the Earth's surface but highly pressurized mantle, semi-liquid rock, and you get too far down, it's liquid rock. The pressure's down there, nothing can survive because it'd be crushed in a split second because you've literally got the weight of the world on you. And where's heaven? We shot rockets up to the moon. Heaven's not in the moon, or we'd had astronauts disappear or something. That
It
could
is in
be
existence.
a slightly different dimension, just off kilter, just a little bit from the Earth, and you go to heaven or hell, or you may go someplace in between, or something entirely different that
Yeah,
we wouldn't even recognize by any kind of religion.
yeah, and it's just I don't know. I mean, because see, what the thing is that since I've done all this research and me and Brittany have talked, and I know you guys know how Brittany is. She's real quiet, but she's just beautiful and as she is, and she's learning. So, guys, if he doesn't talk, please don't get mad. She's just observing and listening. And if she's gonna say something, um, please don't disrespect her in any way. Um, she's just a beautiful person inside, and she's opened me up to a lot of things, even though she's not aware of it. But she has.
Are we talking about Britney?
Yes.
What? Don't tell her, but I think she's a very nice, sweet, loving person
Thank you,
who is
Len.
thoughtful and putting up with a couple of idiots chattering at each other tonight. So she's being very patient.
Yeah, she is.
Thank you, Len.
Yeah, she is. And you are very right. You are amazing.
Something I
You're
learned
amazing.
long ago to both of y'all. Brittany's quiet because she's learning. Unless you got multiple personalities, you cannot learn anything by talking. Because if you're saying it, you already know it. And somebody being quiet like Brittany, she's learning stuff.
And she's came a long way then since, because I know you don't know a lot of stuff, but we'll talk about that maybe some other day. Because I do need to talk to you. And there's a lot of stuff you don't know. And it's just so sad. Because since that time when all this stuff went on, she's grown a lot. I've seen it, I've witnessed it, and I'm very proud of her. Very proud of her. So, Brittany, I'm very proud of you. And I want you to know that. Don't change for nobody. Okay? Don't you dare.
Thank you, Miss.
Be yourself. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, do you want to say anything to your audience? Because I'm not the only one. So, do you want to say anything to anybody?
Um, what one are we talking about? The Jeepers Creepers or the Mothman?
Whatever you want to say? Whatever you want to say.
Um,
So, what did
I
you
found
find out?
I found this interesting. Um, the Mothman in West Virginian folklore is a humanoid creature reportedly seen in the Point Pleasant area from November 15th, 1966 to December 15th, 1967. The first newspaper report was published in the Point Pleasant Register, dated November 16th, 1966, titled "Couple Seen Man-Sized Bird Creature Something." The national press soon picked up the reports and helped spread the story across the United States. The source of the legend is believed to have originated from sightings of out of migration.
Interesting. Awesome. When did you do that research?
It's
When
on
did you find that research?
Wikipedia.
So, even though we were talking, me and then because we're like chatterboxes, as you can see, I'm gonna say this, Britt. What have you learned, and what can you say in your way of talking? What is your perspective on the Mothman and the Jeepers Creepers? Do you feel like there's similarities? Do you feel like a weird vibe from them? What do you feel about that?
I believe they're a lot alike, except
Okay.
for the eyes and the wings, because they're different sizes.
Now, what do you think they came from? Whatever comes to you. Where do you think they come from? Oh, excuse me.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's whatever you
That I don't
feel.
know.
But you learn. You learn. You learn from listening. And it's funny that you did that little research, and just a little research is a lot. People might not see it as a lot, but it is. And that's just amazing. Just for you to do that little research on your own. So that
Researchers
means that
in the paranormal field don't get enough credit
that's right. We don't. We don't.
because you've seen the research I've done regarding Bachelor's Grove and the ghosts there, the Amelia photos. That was I can show the photos and I can talk about it and I'm done in 10 minutes. But it took me 2.5 years to find out all that. People, researchers don't get the credit. It's a good researcher. I don't care what paranormal work you're in. If you're chasing Bigfoot, if you're looking for aliens, or if you're chasing ghosts, on your team, you need a good skeptic. There you go. And you need a good researcher. If you just want to hunt ghosts at different locations, that's fine. I do it myself. You got. I'm not saying I got a problem with any of this. I have. Uh, I have never seen Bigfoot except as an out of body experience. I've never seen anything in the skies I could not identify. If I've ever had an alien anywhere near me, I did not see it. But I'm not going
Mm-hmm.
to knock somebody who has. I'm not going to. Dave Scott. He is. He inspired a lot of people to get podcasts because he's had a success with his show, Spaced Out Radio. I'll tell you the name of the show. Uh, he and I we'll never meet because he lives in Vancouver. But I respect him, and if I dip into his chat room, he immediately speaks to me. But and he's had experiences, and he tells people about his experiences with aliens, and some people actually have the gall to tell him that didn't happen. And I just find it unfathomable that somebody would be talking about a ghost encounter they had, or an alien like Dave Scott had a alien encounter like he had, or a Bigfoot encounter. And when somebody looks at their evidence or talks to them, listen to them talk with on his own show, tells Dave Scott to his face in front of people that didn't happen. How do you know? You weren't there.
You don't.
And
You weren't there.
that's the comeback to that. You weren't there. I was there. I know what I saw. And I'm not going to tell anybody you didn't see this unless I was there. And even then, you saw that. I didn't see that. I cannot verify what I did. I can't verify what I don't see. I can't verify what I
Yeah,
don't hear.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Because I mean, some people just don't see this. Like I'm so drawn to different things. It's insane. There's like the Bigfoot. There's Mothman. Um, I think in some way they're interdimension, just like Men said. Um, and
That's
then
just
there's
my
this
theory.
one where, yeah,
That's
I
just
do
my
feel
theory,
that
Dave.
too.
I'm
Yeah,
willing to listen to anybody else who has a theory.
yeah, and also, this is off the subject, but I've heard stories of the dog man. Where'd that come from? That's another creature, dog man. Like really, where does that come from?
Uh,
So all these
why
different
are they all male?
that's another thing. Why? Why are they
Moth
all male?
Moth
What?
Man. Uh, Now that one picture that everybody says is fake, I don't know. Again, I wasn't there when they took that photo of the Sasquatch. It obviously had female type breasts. That was a female squatch.
Okay.
And I can't say whether that
Now,
photo was real or not. I've not looked at the negatives of the film. I've not gone screen by screen and studied that. That's for other people more expert in filming than I am. But again, I'm not going to say that's fake. I'm not. It could have been. I don't know. That's one of the few females they've said. But the aliens, all the aliens look alike. They have the same type body. Uh, it doesn't look like they're wearing any clothes, but you don't see any sexual things that differentiate between the two, between male and female.
yeah, that's right.
All their Sasquatch families living out. A couple of movies have touched on that. That the only time anybody, the Sasquatch is on Bigfoot's going to interfere with humans is if they're protecting their young, like any animal or any human being would. I mean, you got
Mm-hmm.
to look at it this way: somebody breaks in your house and starts walking around from room to room, you are not going to tolerate that at a heartbeat, especially if you got your wife and kids in the house. A human
Yeah,
being's not going to tolerate that.
yeah, it's
And
not.
in
And
this country, you got all the right in the world to protect yourself.
that's correct.
And police will
Now,
tell you in
then,
Chicago, somebody breaks in your house, just shoot them once they get inside. Don't shoot them outside. Wait till they get through the door. Wait till they get in the window. Shoot them.
yeah, and that's how you find out. Now, Lynn, I don't know if we had to look for pictures. Can we show it on the screen to see what people can think of the Mothman? Because we know what they look like. Can we? Do we have pictures of the Mothman and the Jeepers Creepers that you can put on the screen, or do we have to do it right now while as you're talking, so we can compare and see what they say? And then if anybody has any comments while we're doing this, you're more than free to compare and then let us know what your theory is. Right? Can you send pictures to me and then see what you can find on the phone so I can send them to Lynn and then see what everybody else is gonna say?
Yeah.
They're back. Y'all keep blinking out. It's probably my internet connection. It's having a bad night. But I do not have those pictures mainly because I can only the StreamYard only allows me so many photos, so I have to erase
Okay,
them.
you're fine. You're fine. Look for the best ones, Brett. The ones that stand out to you.
Actually, Chris, uh, nowadays I'm not fine anymore. I'm old. I catch you about 15, 18, 20 years ago. I was fine.
Okay, Lynn, I got one for you. Do you have one of the Jeepers Creepers? And I actually want to see this because just knowing that there is comparison, and like you said,
Well, you
it
can see
is
it in
there is a
miniature
comparison.
on the banner that I made.
Yeah, you
There's
can see them.
two different pictures of Mothman, two different poses, except the blue is Mothman. Then you can kind of see the feathers, and
Hmm.
of course, Jeepers Creepers had the bat wings, and it's totally is a little bit different shape. The wings are totally different, but basically in the same pose.
Exactly, and it's funny how you bring that to our attention. So it kind of validates, Lynn, what you have said. Even though we might have physical evidence, but just look at the similarities, guys. If y'all can really zoom in on y'all's phone, um, there is a lot of similarities. It's just that the wingspan is very different, and the eyes are really just what makes them a little different. And when I look at that, this is just so random. Why the hell am I thinking of Batman? Why the hell am I thinking of Batman? Why? But then again, if you look at Batman in the movies, his wingspan is looks just like Jeepers Creepers, but he's a Batman.
But
So
the thing of
what
this,
is the story?
why they're similar, why they're similar is
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
we're on the same planet, so
exactly.
we have the same gravity, and to get something that weighs anywhere between 100 and 200 pounds off the ground, you got to have a certain amount of strength of moving wings at a certain speed, and the wings have got to be a certain size to get you off the ground. That's just physics. Now, by the way, Chris, if you've ever studied NASA, they're saying that we could put on the moon if we build an underground chamber and put full air pressure like we've got here so we can breathe it inside the moon, just inside where we don't die of radiation and we can pressurize it. They say that we could have some interesting sports. Can you imagine football being played where everybody has wings on their arms, feathers on their arms? Because you can jump off for a cliff and a human being can fly. You can sit there and if you got the wings big enough and you flap your arms hard enough, you can stay afloat
Wow.
in the atmosphere of the
Interesting.
moon. I would
Oh man.
love, I would love to have a cave under the moon's surface, have it fully pressurized so I could breathe, and do some experimentations with, say, pigeons. What would a pigeon do, and how would it fly at that reduced gravity, 1/6 the gravity?
Wow.
That would be a fun experiment. Chickens and turkeys can't get off the ground because their wings aren't big enough. They're too heavy because of
Yep.
Earth's gravity. But up there, even a turkey being thrown out of a helicopter could fly. If you
Yeah,
remember that, the
that is
Great
correct.
Thanksgiving turkey drop.
Yeah. Oh, then I send you the pictures when you have
WKRP in
time. Go ahead.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. And guys, we're about to. So I send in the pictures. Loretta, thank you for saying that's a great show. And see, when me and Brittany talked about this, you guys did not see this coming. So that only tells you one thing: me and Brittany work good together. So people that have seen us work together, it proves that the people that didn't get to know Brittany and kind of I guess doubt her in a way, she's proven them wrong. And I'll just leave it with that. So thanks Loretta for putting it. It's a great show. I hope you enjoy the rest of it if you stay up late enough. Um, and then whenever you're ready to post those pictures, I want you guys to see what you guys think. And if you want to leave any comments, any questions for me, Lynn, or Brittany, don't be shy to ask. And just put it on the screen because I'm looking at the chat. And if you have any questions at all, don't be shy to point them out.
Okay,
Oh,
give me
yes,
another
by the
minute here.
way,
I've got to take off a couple of photos before I can put any new
no,
ones
you're
up.
fine. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you have another phone, then you're going to get in a friend request from a good friend of ours. Her name is Jess. So she's just wanting you to know that she doesn't want you to think that she's a crazy woman. She's a real good friend of ours. Um, Jess, he does not judge. He can be a little crazy sometimes, but he's a real nice friend of ours, and um, he has a good sense of humor, and he kind of brings kind of a spontaneous comment sometimes. But he likes to play around, and Brittany got to get to know Len, and she knows how crazy he can be, right? But how crazy can Len be while he's doing his research? Can you tell Jess and everybody how Len can be at times? Go ahead, Britt. Lay it out.
He can be a bit crazy.
There you go. Now that is the Mothman, as you can see. Kind of creepy looking if you ask me. So as we're showing this, guys, do you have any comments or do you see any similarities? Because we sure do. And go
Well,
ahead.
you're going to
What
have
else?
you're going to have similarities because both are flying creatures. I know Jeepers Creepers was the movie, but you've got certain physical laws you have to follow to be able to fly. Now I know in a lot of Batman movies they fudge that a bit. Uh, some of these space movies, you see a ship banking, and a spaceship can't bank in space. They've got to change directions. Uh, Even with thrusters, you're simply going to turn and head in the same direction you're turning in, even though the part of your ship in the front is changed completely. You're still going in the same direction you were, unless you come to a complete stop and change directions. In the air, you've got to have wings, you've got to overcome Earth's gravity, and you've got laws you got to go by. And that's why these things are similar. So that's why you have this with wings and the statue here.
Wow. But see, that is true. They have to learn how to fly. I mean, without wings, they can't fly.
Right. I mean,
And I hope you guys heard.
a turkey,
Go ahead.
a turkey and an eagle are both birds. You got scaled feet, they have claws on their feet, they have beaks, but a turkey gave up flying long ago because of its bulk. And an eagle can fly very fast because he relies on speed. They don't. They don't. They haven't adapted to living in trees or hanging on the ground. They build a nest in very high places and soar very high. That's their world, way up in the air. They'll dip down to a stream or catch a rabbit or something for food. Where a turkey can only dream of flying up like an eagle. But they're both birds. They both have wings. They both have feathers. But they're way
Yeah, it's
different.
true. Yeah, that is very, very true. And it's just so weird how everything is a man. It really points out that with every creature, it's a man. It is so weird. It makes you sit there and wonder what is this world really hiding? Where did these things come from? What dimension? People can get clear pictures of it, different things. And it goes back to even aliens, and I'm just gonna go there. Um, with aliens, they are meant as well, but you can't tell. They could be female too, but you can't tell. And I was asking a few people on my live one night, I mean, in the afternoon, and I asked them, do you think that there is aliens in the flesh in human form? And everybody's like, well, I don't know any of, I don't think there's such thing as aliens in human form. Well, you're proven wrong. Because some of us, we ain't gonna point out who I'm talking about, but there is others that were living a human body, human experience, but we're very spiritual. But we know where we come from, and if you think that aliens have not been here for decades, you're wrong. Because they've been here for years and years and years, and some of them are under the ocean, by the way, which is an Earth sign because I'm a Virgo. Uh, by the way. Um, They live among us. Some of them are in Florida. There's some that are in Mexico. Those are the main two hotspots. And then there is some in New Orleans. So the question is, how does Chris know that? If he's human. How does Chris know that? Good question. How do I know that? Brett, how do we know that? How do we know that there's aliens in human form? I
Chris, how do
don't
you know
know.
that?
Good question. Good question. Do you want me to go there?
Go ahead.
Do you want me to go there?
Go ahead.
Because you're looking at one. You're looking at an
Oh,
alien in human form. Yeah. There's another one that's an alien, by the way. I don't know if that person wants to actually expose themselves as an alien, and that person is learning stuff about themselves. So if that person, without further ado, if you want to go ahead and just say who, and I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna leave this one and just sit back and just enjoy this. So
oh, okay, Chris. You have sitting there on a live show on StreamYard, broadcast on Facebook in two different places, broadcast on YouTube, and being put later on Spotify and the other networks where people can watch podcasts later on. You just admitted you're an illegal alien.
well, technically, I know I'm an alien because I have been told, and I actually believe it because telepathically, we've been here for many, many, many years. And you know what, Lynn? I don't hide myself. I know who I am. I know where I resonate from. I know I'm not from this planet because I don't. You know what? There's even at times when I was little, I never felt like I fit in, and I still don't feel like I fit in. And the reason why I feel different is because when I was growing up, I guess between 4 and 6, 4 or 8, at that age, I used to just sit there and look at the stars. And I thought, why the hell am I looking up at, and of course I'm being a kid, so I just thought it was just to help me sleep. But as time went on, a lot of the stars and the moon, I felt so connected because I don't know if you've heard this, but there is such thing as star seeds, another label that were actually called star seeds. And it's funny how we were talking about this earlier today in our own little private chat. Okay, then are you just doing that on purpose? You might as well put the Twilight.
The name of this piece of music is Space Conspiracy.
I like that background, by the way. I like it. I like that.
And see, I can do that. I rarely ever do it, but I can play a little bit of background music. In fact, this is what
I like it.
Music was actually written for, was background music.
And I was going to say to this anonymous person, do you actually want to say who you are? Are you an alien too?
No, I don't think so.
La da di da, la da di da.
Well, I
One
was
thing
told.
that I have.
Go ahead.
I was
Go ahead,
told
Brittany.
When I was told I'm part alien.
Do you feel like, okay, the question is, do you feel like an alien? Do you feel like you're not from this existence? That's the question. Do you feel like you're from somewhere else?
Well, it's weird how you mention it because sometimes when I see something on the computer or phone, it's like, am I here? Like, am I watching this? Is this real?
Yeah,
I like that background.
Well, one thing I've learned in talking to people on EchoVox and the ghost boxes, the question is, and nobody's been able to answer it, do we really know who and what we're talking to?
That's a good
The
question.
answer being no. It's like a Ouija board. If you open up a portal and you're talking on a Ouija board, you don't know who or what you're talking to. You may be talking to your long dead loved one, or you could be talking to aliens. And the same thing with the ghost box. All you've got is a voice that may have gone, called your name, or got you, or said interactive. You said, what's the answer to this? And they give you the one or two word answer, and you hear it through the background noise of the spirit box. But who really answered? Is it a ghost? Is it an alien? Is it a demon? We have no proof whatsoever. We really can't prove. When a ghost tells you something, how do we know they're lying? They don't. It's not like they pull out an ID and tell you who they are. We really don't know, and we can't positively prove really anything like most people do scientifically. I mean, if somebody says, well, it's raining outside, all you got to do is walk out your door, stand out in your yard for a few seconds. You know it's raining. You know there's going to be an eclipse here Monday, right after lunch, because that's all. It's been said. People have said it, and you go outside at that point in time and you see it. But when you're talking on a ghost box or a spirit box, or even have a video or something, what are we looking at, and who are we talking to?
Exactly. Amen to that.
And by the way, with the eclipse Monday, do you have your live goats?
Yeah.
because you know you got to wait until the solar eclipse is at its height. Then you have to kill your sacrificial goat. So the gods will be, have their what they need, and they'll bring the sun back to you.
That is kind of scary when you talk about that, because I do feel that, how we have the show tonight, and I do believe everything has numbers and has meanings. And I think, even though we didn't do the show on 411, because I'm good with numerology, but I do feel, knowing that we did the show on April 4th, and it's the fourth month, it really does a lot of numerology, because when you add 4 plus 4 is 8. And to me, 7, 3s, and 1s are very important to me. But now, with everything going on with me recently, of my mom, which you guys know, now 8 is coming around a lot. And what did I just say? 4 plus 4 is 8. So, what does the double 4 mean tonight, as we're being broadcasted live on the show? Kind of interesting if you really think it, because it's 2 of the same numbers. Everything has a meaning behind it. And as you go with the show, you look back at it and you're just like, you do your research and you're just like, oh crap, 4 and 4 means this. What does it mean? Don't know. But as we're talking, I'll do a little bit of research myself, because I'm kind of curious. So, and Lynn, thank you for the background. That's amazing. I like the background. So, let's just look it up, shall we? So, oh wow. Okay, so 444, which is 4s, is a typically sign. Seems a sign that a person is going to be successful and make big decisions, process toward their goals, and gain control over their life. Guardian angels are watching over and guiding individuals, especially during times when they are working hard towards their goals and the universe. So, the 444 is love, support, and guidance from your angels. It serves as a reminder that you are on the right path, and your angels are by your side, offering their unwavering support. And the 4 symbolizes stability, security, and a strong foundation. So, we're very ambitious. So, if you look at numerology, which I love numerology, and I was so into astrology that now I look at everything and I don't believe in any coincidences. And as a matter of fact, as we're on this show, I'm not even kidding, and it won't be the first time I've said this. This show, in my head, I've already seen it. Don't ask me how I know this. I remember talking to Lynn. I remember talking to Britney. I have a memory of it. That's where deja vu comes into play. So everything that we do in this life has already been written. We just don't remember a lot of things. Things that we talk about, the things we say, have already been written. But then again, Lynn has already proven that there's no scientific proof of. We remember our past lives. Some of them, people don't even believe in reincarnation. I believe in reincarnation. I believe in rebirth. I believe that when you die, it doesn't stop. It continues. The only thing difference is it's a different vibration. And what you did down here is what you're going to do up there. You're just going to be on a higher vibration and frequency. So, God is my witness. I'm going to say this once, and I'll say it. I have never said this before. But I know that when it's my time, I will be someone's guardian angel, someone's spirit guide, and as they do their journey, I'm going to guide them as my guides were guiding me. Kind of catch my drift.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of interesting how everything just pops out of my mouth and I just say random weird shit. But then it kind of makes sense when you really think about it. And like for you, Jess, the fact that I have known you for a while, and for me to say that you and Brittany are sisters, where did that come from? But I can't say Chris doesn't know nothing because technically I do. I just said sometimes I just play stupid and just deny it. Because even Brittany's face when I told them that we're both sisters. Oh God, I just slipped out. Okay, where the hell did I just say twins? Okay, that was weird. Now I'm channeling shit. Okay, sorry, we're on live and I'm off doing this all at once. Oh crap! Oh my God, here we go.
By the way, Chris, I am not editing that out.
What?
I said I'm not editing that out.
What? The
What
music?
you just did. You said you were on live show doing all this. I said I'm not editing that out.
Yeah, you don't have to. Because it's just spontaneous. I just say random play. See, this is the thing, Brittany. Yeah, it's just there. And like this, Brittany, you know how I'm very relaxed? As you get better, it just comes out. And Lynn knows this. Lynn's known me for a long time. I don't write shit down on what I'm gonna say. It just flows. It's just flow of energy. As you start growing, you'd be surprised that just random stuff you come out and then you're just like, did I just say that? Yeah, you did. And speaking of that, by the way, I might just throw this out there. As some of you don't know, but I will discuss that later. We're going to go a little bit on the magical side now.
Uh-oh.
People that have always accepted Wiccan and Pagan, once you put a ring on, it's like opening a door. Once you accept who you are, even though you don't remember, but you're like, you know what? I want a ring. And you just look at them like, are you sure you do that? Because once you do it, there's no turning back. And me, I've been just very open on who I am. Because I don't care. But, here we go. Beautiful. Magical ring, by the way. So, Brittany, can you show them what you have? Move it more this way. See how she put that ring on? She's accepted who she is. So what does that tell you? She's growing.
Mm-hmm.
She's growing. What do you think, Lynn? What do you think when you see that on her? Do you think she's growing?
Yeah, personal growth.
Yeah.
Something most humans try to do all their lives is to get a little personal growth.
Okay, so
if you're not expanding your mind and trying to grow, what are you doing?
Exactly. So we have a question for you, Brett, from Jess. What's your favorite color? Did we ever just become best friends? And those are the questions that she had for you. So what is your favorite color? And did we just become best friends?
Just my favorite color, I prefer dark colors, like black, red, blue. I used to like pink at some point, but I'm into dark colors now. But, did we just become best friends? We can be best friends, Jess.
See, and she said that y'all guys bonded. So that just says that you both really, really connected. And it's funny how when you met her, what did you say, Britt? What did you say? You felt like connected. I get the same feeling, almost like out of body experience, like watching yourself. It's like watching yourself. Yeah. So, so I'm gonna ask you something. But how did you feel when you looked at Jess? What kind of feeling did you get?
Hmm. Well, at first, I thought, she needed people in her life. And I thought, we should add her, to a group that we're in because she was hurting and stuff. And me and her just like clicked.
Good.
And then Chris was saying that, me and her might be sisters.
Past life thing. Past life thing. So you know what? I'm gonna tell you what, Lynn. For you putting on that music sounds so familiar to me that you would think that I would be getting goosebumps, but it kind of when you're playing that music, it feels like very peaceful, earth-like feeling for me. It resonates with me. It feels almost like out of the existent music that you're playing. It just feels very just easy and smooth, and I
I,
like that. So I just want to say thank you.
I've never played this particular music before.
I actually like it, but it's very soothing, very
Uh,
soothing.
People wondering where they can get it. I'll put this up real quick. Whoops.
But
This music. So this music is very downloadable and not very expensive. And that's the website and that's the banner I've got that I can throw up and say I can play it because I did basically pay for the being allowed to use the music.
that's amazing. And you know what? Did you see what she put? That you're spot on, Brett. That's what Jess put.
Mm-hmm.
So what you said resonates with her. So you just saved her life. Good job. Very good job. Now, Brett,
Thank you.
do you want to go ahead and make you welcome? Do you want to go ahead and say something else too, Brett? Or do you just rather just keep that one quiet? If you know what I'm talking about.
Um,
Are you talking about the affair she's having with Chris Hemsworth?
Did you just say that? What did you just say? Can you repeat that again?
I said, is she talking about the affair she's having with Chris Hemsworth?
I don't know who Chris is.
Okay.
Oh,
He's Thor in the Marvel movies.
I don't know. Lynn, you know what, Lynn? I think you know something, Lynn. You know something, don't you, Lynn?
What? You notice Britney did not deny it.
So what do you think, Britt? Do you think he knows? Now that he said that.
it's possibility.
So, if you want to go ahead and say it, go ahead. If you don't want to, then don't say anything. But if you do, go ahead.
Well, are you fine with it, Chris?
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. It doesn't bother me because I'm actually happy, as you could see. So if you want to say it, it's up to you.
So
Now, if
you
you want
want
to
me
keep
to?
it quiet, well, I think some people already know that ones that are watching. But just be aware that when
Yeah,
you
the
say this,
ones
this is not only on.
watching.
Yes, they know. Now, as far as TikTok and I mean not TikTok, Facebook and YouTube, they will be aware of this because we're on different platforms. Just to let you know.
So I don't know. I don't know if I should say.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. What feels right in your heart?
I know it's like mix. It's like mix. Like I want to say it, but part of me is like, no.
But see, that's the thing. To me, this is how I look at it. Most of the time, I really don't talk about my personal life. I really don't. But I think if it's meant to be, it's gonna come out either way, regardless if we want it to or not. Whatever your life, personal life is, it's gonna be exposed because people will be looking at body language, and body language and eye contact say everything. So it's up to you. And by the way, before she says anything, then I got a question for you. For you saying that, do you know something that I don't? Go ahead, Lynn. Go ahead and say it. And the music is perfect. It's perfect. The
I
music is perfect.
I know a lot of things you don't.
Oh,
Uh,
really? What is that?
well, a couple of days ago, I had a very close encounter in my yard with a king snake.
Oh my God.
We,
Okay,
we,
Lynn.
we, we,
Wait.
we looked at each other for a little bit, locked eyes, and realized neither was attacking the other.
Oh, this is what we said. Um, just said, or can we play what Lynn's thinking? So, just are you challenging to see if we can figure out what Lynn is thinking at this time? Is that what you're asking?
So
Can you
that
be
that
more
was
specific?
that's something you didn't know about. But I've never been to the Pacific. I've been to the Atlantic. I've never been to the Pacific. So I'm never
Yeah.
Pacific.
Okay, Lynn, I got a question for you.
And by the way, you said you're in a relationship now. I have been talking to another paranormal group, and apparently I'm going to be doing work with them here down south. So I've kind of got a new relationship too.
Interesting. Now that you said that, without saying so many words, and you can speak it in code if you want. Lynn, question. I'm in a relationship. You know this because you saw my status.
Right.
Just random. Who do you think it is without saying it in so many words? Do you think you know who it is? Or you just rather not say out of respect?
I think you've run off with the crush of your life, Madonna.
So what are you trying to say? Is it that you're saying that you know, or you're just saying it in code?
Being honest, I have not given a lot of thought because I've had a very busy last couple of weeks.
Hmm. Now I'm gonna ask you something, even though you might not have given it a lot of thought. But do you see any difference in me since I'm put the status relationship? Do you see any difference in me?
Well, yeah, everybody's in a relationship changes.
I know, but do you see like happiness? What do you see from me that you've never seen before?
You happiness. You seem more satisfied, happier, in a better mood, like most people are when they first get into a relationship.
Okay.
Then after about a year, all the screaming and the stabbing starts.
Well,
But enough
so,
about
I
my
mean,
ex-wife.
you know what? I think in a way, Lynn, you do know. You just don't want to say anything. I personally think you do know. I have a feeling that you know something. I don't know why. I just got a hunch. It's just a random feeling. And usually when I get those random feelings, Lynn, I'm not wrong. You know something.
Mm-hmm.
But you're just you're just staying quiet. And I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate you. I appreciate that.
I've learned being quiet from living in a small town the last 8 years. Everybody knows everybody, so you can't say anything about anybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like a few people I wanted to scare so they wouldn't start any trouble with me. So I bought a 12 gauge shotgun, a whole bunch of big game shot for the shotgun. Told them I didn't hunt anything 3 times when I bought a whole box of shells for big game, and the whole town knew about it, and nobody wants to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Angry old man with a 12 gauge shotgun, fire box of big game killing shot for the shotgun.
Huh?
And
Making up is the
nobody
first.
wants to talk to me about that for some reason.
Okay, Loretta, what do you mean by making up is the first thing? I don't know what you're talking about because I'm looking at it in the comments. Um, I don't know.
Well,
Now,
if you get in an argument with your other half, making up is the best part.
oh yes, that yeah.
It's like it's like you know what the best part to having kids is, don't you?
What?
Making them.
Oh shit! Oh damn! Oh my goodness! Oh my god, that's funny. And for Jess, I know that you said it would thought it would make it fun. So I don't know how we're supposed to do this thing. Um,
Hey, Loretta's agreeing with me here.
what?
I said the best part of kids, the best part of making kids is making them. Loretta agrees with me.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. You know how when they say love is blind. Believe me, love is a beautiful thing. It's amazing. It's amazing what angels can bring to you. Never doubt it. Embrace it.
Yep.
Accept it. It's just amazing. And since I've gone through a lot this whole year, um, I've gotten a lot of support from you guys, and just want to say thank you to everyone that has supported me since day one, and for letting you being supportive of, you know, being a good host and doing good shows for us. You're just amazing. Um, all you guys are just amazing on the comments. I just want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, I love you guys. Y'all are just amazing. Um, so, and of course, Britney's just amazing as well. Say anything else?
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Being honest, I have not been this amazing since I played baseball. Even though now I am right at 260 pounds, and I can drop on the floor and almost bounce up. When I played baseball, 185 pounds, you could drop a quarter on my bare butt and it'll bounce up in the air. It
Yeah.
would just hit the butt and bounce up. But I am long past squeezing this rather big, unsexy butt in spandex or very tight pants like I did when I was playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been told I was amazing since I played baseball.
Well, that's good to know. It's amazing, and it's actually, man, that music is, I don't know, it's kind of trippy, to be honest. It's it really is kind of trippy. It's something different because with me and you, we always have done different shows, and each show it's never the same, never, and that's what I like because we always have something to talk about. It doesn't get boring. And with just the Jeepers Creepers and Lost Man, it kind of just validates that everything that it's amazing. So
I guess Loretta's
thank you,
leaving us.
thank you, Loretta. Good night.
Loretta. Have a good eclipse weekend, Loretta. That's what we're saying down here. I don't know about everybody listening, but there is going to be a total solar eclipse, and it is here. It is 97.8% complete here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So to see
Send me.
97.8% of a total solar eclipse, all I got to do is walk out after I eat lunch Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can sacrifice my goat, then the sun will come back up.
Wow. That is amazing.
Got to sacrifice the goat or the sun will never shine on me again.
Yep.
Forever darkness.
Yeah, it is amazing, and it's just, I don't know, it makes me sit there and wonder, and I feel like there's so much connections to everything that we talk about, and it's just, I'm actually stunned for tonight. It's just, I'm actually speechless, to be honest.
You're talking about background music, Chris?
That and everything.
In July, this July, I will be doing a special show, regardless of what. It's on a special night. I don't think it's a Thursday. I will be having a special show trying to contact a certain ancient criminal who was murdered in Chicago on a night, dark night, summer night, a hot night. He went to the theater just to try to cool off, the only place with AC. Talking about John Dillinger. I do have a copy of the Manhattan Melodrama movie, which is the last movie that John Dillinger saw. I will be broadcasting live, and instead of this music that's playing now, I will be playing Manhattan Melodrama as a background as I try to contact John Dillinger on the anniversary of his death. So that's coming up this summer.
That is amazing. That is really amazing. And it's crazy. I think there's a lot of people that were very curious. I think there's a few people that were very curious what we were talking about. I I think that we have a lot of curiosity killed the cat kind of feeling. And to me, you know, if I decide to say it, then I'll say it. But as the present time, um, I'm happy. Just put it that way. And I'd like to give a shout out to someone very special. You know who you are. I just say that I love you, no matter what you do, and you know who you are. Yeah. Hmm. Everybody get quiet all at once when Chris talks. Hmm. Nice ring, by the way.
I was sincerely hoping you were not talking to me.
I wonder who I was talking to. Who was I talking to? Hmm.
I don't know,
Curiosity cat
Chris.
wants to know. Who was I talking about? Do you have any
I
clue?
don't know, Chris.
Oh, really? You don't know? Do you want me to say it? Or you rather not?
Oh, I'd rather not say it. It's
up
not
to
for me to
you.
announce things like that.
What are you talking about, Liz? You don't know what we're talking about.
See, I'm shy about the things I say.
Now, I got a question for you, man. If, say I'm happy, right? And I'm in a relationship. What is your perspective as us being friends? Should I keep it quiet? Or should I be proud of who I'm with and not care what people say? Because people are going to talk anyway. So what is your perspective on that?
You got it. Whatever you're doing in your private life, if you could either, that's a choice. You can either keep it secret, but why? The way I look at it, you should be proud of who you're with.
So technically what you're saying is I shouldn't care what people say. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and back in the 60s and 70s, you remember what we used to say when we were kids back then?
What?
If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with.
Ooh, interesting. Very interesting. I like that. I really like that. So, should I say anything?
I'll leave that entirely up to you, sir.
Brett?
Of course, now I would be concerned if you changed one word in your sentence. You say, I'm happy with who I'm with. Who should I talk? Should I say something about them and announce who they are? And I'm gay. Should I announce who they are? Gay and happy mean about the same thing.
So, waiting for a little signal.
Because if it's like that, you're on the wrong show. You need to be on the show before mine.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Well, I can say
the guys on the show before me are very, very, very gay. They don't care that I say that, but they're both great guys. That's why I don't step on them very much.
I agree with your friend that speaking. You know what, Sally, are you talking about that I should be happy who I'm with? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you just talking about in just general? Can you be more specific on that? Mm-hmm. We're playing the Jeopardy music. So you're basically saying that I should be happy and I shouldn't care what anyone says. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay. That gives me the answer. So Do I have permission?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do me two favors.
What?
Actually three. Don't take your pants off. If you do, don't stand up. and don't take your shirt off. I don't want to see that either.
So do I have permission?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have permission?
Yeah. Are you asking me?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not asking somebody else. I'm asking someone in particular. Yes or no?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, without further ado, I gotta take a deep breath on this one. Me and Brittany have been talking, as you guys know, and we're actually together. You heard it loud and clear. We are together. He's like, now he's putting some other music now. He's gonna probably put a love song for us now. Oh my god, did he just really go there?
This music just sounds like somebody dancing through a field of candy and flowers.
Actually,
Yeah,
you
it's
know what,
true,
guys?
though, what Chris says. Me and him are together.
And we are together. And for everyone in the comments, Sue, thank you for giving us a thumbs up. Jeff, thanks for putting yay and giving us a flower. And I don't know what that is. I don't know. Well, I'll wait till Lynn plays this. He's going to give all the comments. So if any of you want to congratulate us, you can do that as well.
Hey, let's dance.
Ren, it almost sounds like club music.
The name of it is Dance Pop, so you're not far off. This is StreamYard music, by the way. So YouTube, Facebook don't have a heart attack. StreamYard owns the copyright to this. You got to account YouTube it too. That's just the music here that StreamYard provides.
Thanks, Jess, for putting those flowers. I appreciate it. Actually, I like those flowers. Just put me in the spot now.
Like a sci-fi movie in the 50s.
Yeah. I actually like that. I actually like that. Yeah.
That was actually the theme of my first marriage.
Huh? It was?
I had an
So
interesting 5-year marriage to my first wife.
Yeah, and you know what? Actually, you know what? This is actually I can actually say everybody has talked to me. They've seen a lot of spark in my eye, and I am really, really happy. So thank you guys for supporting us, and much love to you guys. I really appreciate it. Now, if you want to
I
add anything to that,
the
you want
goal
to
for
add?
every human being is to be happy.
Amen. Amen. Thank
And
you.
nobody should knock it.
That is true. Thank you for spreading that wisdom, Lynn. I appreciate it. So, Lynn, I got a question for you. Since now you know, we have your blessing?
Of course.
Thank you. Brittany, if you want to say anything out to anyone else, because Jessica's already giving us flowers and everybody is
Oh my
giving us
God!
thumbs up.
Look at this.
My first ex-husband had what Darth Vader song in his phone. Oh my god!
I noticed she said ex-husband there.
Oh my god, that is funny. Thanks, Jess. I appreciate it, and I appreciate that you're happy for us, Jess. Actually, get this. Hi, flower girl. Hi, flower girl. Yep. So, do you want to say anything, Bert, while he's playing that music?
Hang on for a second, Brittany. Let's go ahead and get the mood right before you say anything. Now say it.
Go ahead, Brett. Do you have anything to say?
Come
Go
on.
ahead, Brett.
I know you're a little bit shy. Sometimes you just gotta say what you want to say softly, quietly, and at your own time. So just say it! Say it! Say it!
Oh, did he just go there? Did he just really go there?
Yeah,
Oh my
he just
god.
went there.
You called him what? I called him constantly, so he got sick of it and got rid of it. Huh?
What,
Yeah, and
Jess,
by
you
the
got
way,
something against
too.
Star Wars?
Yeah, I guess she does. But but you know what's funny too is that I know this, and you know what really means a lot to me. And excuse if I get a little emotional, but you're right. I should be happy in what I say, and shouldn't be ashamed of the person I'm with. Is one. But you know what's most important for me?
What's that?
That I have the blessing of my mom, and the fact that I feel my mom brought her to me is the most amazing thing. And thank you, mom. I know you did this. And she's the most important thing in my life that approved of it. And without knowing that I feel that I know my mom did this. I know that my mom didn't want me to be alone. And I really truly feel in my heart that my mom had a lot to do with me connecting to Britt. And I can't complain. I can't complain one bit. And like you said, Britt, what did you say that one time when you talked? Your, your mom knows everything. Remember you saying that?
Yep,
You were right. She's the
I
only one
remember
that,
saying that to you, Chris.
yeah. I know. And you were the one that said it. And I didn't tell you to say it. You said it on your own. So the fact that you said that, that tells me that you're growing on your own without me influencing you. You said that on your own. And for you to acknowledge that, then that means that my mom's been talking to you. You're just not remembering. And the fact that you have been very supportive since, I'm going through a lot. You know that. And so does Lynn. And Lynn, um, I've been through a lot. And I've talked to you about that. And that's another thing. I think when that time comes, when the Day of the Dead comes for that show, I know you said it was too soon to do it. Uh, Probably by that time, I probably will still be hurting, but I will be ready to talk to my mom. And I appreciate that you told me to wait and that it wasn't timely. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart that you said it wasn't the right time to contact her, and I appreciate that. So
It was just a
this
little
one,
too soon.
yeah, it's too soon to
Right.
to
You've
say
got
anything, and
you've got emotional healing to go through, and I think what you're doing now is helping you with that emotional
yeah,
healing.
yeah, and I truly believe that. I do believe in my heart that my mom had a lot to do with it, even though I have to do more research on like the dates and numbers and numerology. But I have a weird gut feeling that my mom had something to do with Britney. I really, really do. I can't, don't know how. It's just a feeling that I have. And there's been a lot of people that even told me that it's my mom that did this. My mom did this. And that's a very touchy subject because I am still grieving. But in the same token, I'm healing as well. So it's just amazing how I've grown from that last time that I talked to you, Lynn, about this. And I told you about it. And you just said, no, you're just not ready yet because you to heal from that. I mean, the pain will never go away, but you need to be ready when you hear her voice. And right now, you are not ready. And I totally agree that. I really agree that I wasn't ready when we had that little talk. Um, Even though I'm getting more, I guess, kind of used to it in a way. And now I'm kind of acceptance of knowing how God is so good and what God brings into people's lives. And for you guys accepting, that I shouldn't be afraid of how I feel. And it's amazing. So I have to say on my behalf, I'm really happy for all the support that I've had from the loss of my mom. And now that I have happiness in my life, I just want to say to everybody in the group, I love you guys. Um, just amazing. I'll just leave it with that. Now, Brittany, if you want to say anything to the group, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Chris, when you feel ready to do it, when you feel ready.
Yeah, I know. I know that's tough, but and you know that it's something that like Glenn told me. He said to do it on the Day of the Dead. Which is months are going by fast. They'll be here before you know it. And for everyone that doesn't know of the Day of the Dead, it's on November. It's in November.
Right.
It's it's
Days of the
Saints
Dead.
Day.
They include Halloween, Hallows Eve, and All Saints Day, and then the official Day of the Dead, where you have a bonfire that night to end the 3 or 4 day celebration.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing, and I truly believe that, and it's
See,
amazing, and
we always cut stuff short in the United States. We're always in too big of a rush, and we can't really celebrate a 3 or 4 day thing and cram it all in one day and just call it Halloween. You got to
mm-hmm,
realize break down the word. What does Halloween mean? Okay, it's Hallows Eve.
mm-hmm,
It's before the Day of
yeah,
the Dead. Actually, the two main days of Day of the Dead, of course. Halloween is always celebrate. That's like celebrating Christmas Eve without celebrating Christmas.
yeah, that is true.
You have
That
fun
is
and
very,
games,
very,
sure, but the next day is when everything happens. And for Halloween and Day of the Dead, you have 2 full days where the veil is very thin between the two. First day, you're supposed to go to the cemetery and talk to your relatives, spend some time with them. Uh, I would urge you to that on that day, take flowers to wherever your mother is.
yeah. Well, she's still here technically, but I will put her, because she's not gonna be in the casket. She's in the urn right now. So when that time comes, I will put her up. Um, I'm thinking more before Mother's Day because Mother's Day's around the corner, which is gonna hit me. Um,
What on Day of the Dead, you don't have to go to a cemetery or where she's going to be. Wherever she is right
hmm
now, sitting on your shelf, put a set of flowers to it.
Yeah, and that's what's funny you say that because she is on the shelf right now, and this is just a crazy feeling that it's just amazing.
And then the next day, you don't go visit your relatives; they visit
hmm
you.
mm No, thanks just for putting that. Chris had a day of the dead statue. Her head just broke for no reason one day. It was when we didn't know how long my mom had. We still don't know, but she's where she is permanently. Okay, thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. That's very amazing, Jess. Thank you for sharing that with us. Um, that's that is very strange where your statue broke for no
Yeah,
reason. I think to me that is just paranormal at its best, which is kind of strange because we don't understand why things happen the way they do. Um, it's just the unknown is very, very scary. And we'll just label the Mothman in that category because he's very unknown and nobody can actually get pictures of him. And and we'll just leave it at that. And as far as one thing we will actually do, and I have to do this. I have to put you on the spot. I like doing this, by the way. Anyways, Brett, can you just do one little favor for me? Can you sing the Jeepers Creepers
Sure.
for everyone since we did? Can you do the Jeepers Creepers song? I like that when she sings it.
Oh
Go ahead, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
gosh, you
I
always
like it.
want me to sing that song, Chris.
Yeah, because I like it.
Jeepers,
And plus, we did the show.
creepers, jeepers, jeepers, creepers. Where'd you get those eyes?
There you go. I like the way she says it. I like to hear her say it. And we actually got that on live, so we just added the Jeepers Creepers song with the show. Isn't that crazy? It was weird because there was no, huh? So many unknown then. Yeah, you know what? That does make a lot of sense. Just that is very strange that you're things happen, I do feel that there's a meaning behind it. You just gotta see and try to think outside the box and figure out why that happened. Because for the head to just come off and then after that, it's just it's very strange to say the least. I could not imagine how you reacted when it fell and when it broke. I think if it was in my case, I would have just lost my shit, to say the least. Um, it's just it's just weird to say, but that is kind of weird how that happened, and that's weird how that happened. You didn't know how long your mom had, so that is kind of like unknown, especially with the statute. I mean, statute, there's just no way that could have broken unless something pushed it to get your attention, or something was attached to it and said, "Hey, get this out of here," and it broke. Or maybe it was your mom saying something and you just have to read between the lines. And I'm sorry that even though it's been probably a long time for you, but I still give you my condolences. And I'm sorry that you had to experience that. And that is the unknown. That is the unknown. And the way things are, we just don't understand for why things happen, but things happen the way they do. And I don't know what you think about that, Lynn, for the statue just to break. I mean, what do you think, Lynn, on that one?
That is just weird. You know, if it fell over, that's one thing about the head breaking off. If it didn't fall over, it's hard to explain something hitting a statue hard enough to break the head off without knocking the statue over.
Yeah, that is true.
How do you do that?
Yeah, that is kind of thing. Because you know how they say that in space there's loss of gravity.
Yes.
Now, in this existence, we have gravity. So, depending on where it was, say like if it was on a stable shelf, which is what I'm seeing in my mind, there's no way that that statue could have fell without something pushing it. Now, did it tip and have legs and walk? There's been stories about statues having to either move their eyes or they'll have tears. I've heard it in religious statues where they've cried and other stuff like that. But this is something more of the Day of the Dead statue, so it's kind of very strange. And even though I'm trying to process that when you said it fell and the head just falls, I mean that just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. I don't know how that would even occur, Lynn. I just don't see that. I don't know what you got to say about that, Britt, about how the day of the statue head just broke. I mean, how does that even begin? What is your input on that for Jess?
My thoughts are probably like maybe like a ghost or spirit did that.
Yeah, but now if it's on the shelf, then it must have been some strong energy just saying, there's a reason why it fell. It could have done it out of rage, out of hurt, or out of pain. We just never know. Sorry, guys, I had to cough. So every time I cough, I put it on mute so I don't have to hear that. Um, but yeah, it's just it makes you sit there and wonder that a statue like that would break. Now, if it was on an unstable area, then I can see it breaking. But if it was on a stable area, I don't see how it broke. I don't see how it broke.
Well, spirits and ghosts can do that.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Then you need to look at this. Just said nope, the head fell off. Rolled all over the way across my floor. Okay. Then she puts, I honestly thought that my older daughter's dad, who passed away, did it to scare me. Wow. So, what do you think of that one, Lynn?
That would be scary. The head of a statue rolling across your bedroom floor.
Yeah, yeah, it would be rolling. That is scary. Shit. Sorry. I'll keep coughing. I take that medicine. But yeah, it's just kind of crazy, though. It makes me wonder, like, that it goes back to what we said. It's just things that are unknown that we just don't understand. And it goes back to even to it just broke and rolled like it was weird. That is weird. That is weird.
Yeah, things are going funky with the internet again, as usual when you and I have a show together.
Oh, Lynn, I got a question for you. I'm not saying it'll happen, but I got a question for you just in case if something happens. Because I know me and Brittany already talked about it. She's okay if we can. If now she gets tired faster, then we can leave earlier. But we already talked about it earlier that she would be okay. That if we can stay till 1. But since you're having internet issues, then say if it just cuts you off just random, are you gonna want us to wait for you, or do we just leave the live and then it just shuts off, or you just come back and turn it off?
It,
So just in
it's
case if something
it's
happens.
actually excuse me. It is actually already shut y'all off from me where I can't see y'all. Y'all go to the spinning wheel of death about 6 or 7 times
What?
already, and y'all just got back.
What?
Yeah, I've had spinning wheel of death on my end about 6 times since 6 or 7 times since the show started.
Okay, I got a
Y'all
question for you.
and y'all have frozen for me a couple other times.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you something else. Since we started before we started the show, I got a question. Did this happen when we were in back studio, or did this happen when we went on live?
It happened as we were getting first time as we were getting started.
You know what I'm being told? It was the stuff that we brought up. That's why your internet's messing up. Because
Could be
remember
'cause I've
that we
got
were talking
enough.
about them.
I just checked the speed, and I've got enough speed to keep that from happening. I'm not running my camera because I do not have enough speed to use the camera.
Yeah, but see, this is what's weird. You said that it started at the beginning.
Yes,
So that's telling me that there's some influence on Jeepers Creepers in the Mothman. You could just say it's internet just having to mess up.
hmm
But when I think more about it, you can easily say it's just random. But there is no coincidence that all of a sudden you're saying that we're frozen or we're glitching and it's kicked us out and it's done to where it's acting up. And I truly feel like there's a connection somewhere. And I'm gonna tell you what I feel. I'm actually gonna put it on Facebook because I don't care. I think we hit a nerve. We actually hit a nerve when we talked about the Mothman. and Jeepers Creepers because, like you said, it's copyrighted. And secondly, the producer that made Jeepers Creepers had it linked to the Mothman. So, other coincidence, you're having internet issues
Uh huh.
again, and you said it is connected to the Mothman and Jeepers Creepers, and all of a sudden we have technical issues.
It's
You
uh-huh.
could just
It's not the
uh,
weather. We had a beautiful clear day, high of about 68 degrees, and it's cooling off a little bit. Sometimes that will affect the tower. It could be because it's not getting that cold,
oh, excuse me, sorry.
and the temperature change should have hit earlier.
I
But
was gonna
you got to
say that
remember, Jess,
someone.
this is that my internet signal is not on a sealed cable system. It goes out through an antenna on a pole at my front door and hits the towers. And the
It's kind of
signal
interesting that you.
is sent all the way to Denver before it's put out.
Okay, that sounds kind of creepy. You know what's funny? As we're talking, it's not like on the live, but I'm hearing a buzzing sound. Where is that buzzing sound coming from?
No, no. In the past, we've had buzzy sounds because I forgot to turn off my speakers. But I'm looking now at the switch. The speakers have been off.
Oh, by the way, since this is your first time being on the show with me, just be aware that you are that since we said everything in about aliens and about the Mothman, just be aware that now you have eyes on you now. Okay? I'm just letting you know you have eyes on you now. Because everything you said, we exposed it. But don't let it interfere
So
with
eyes
you.
on both of us, Chris.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yeah. So we're being watched after. And then, of course, Lynn's been monitored for a long time. I even told Lynn that we've been watched for years. Because me and Lynn, we clicked. And every time that he would have me on, we would have technical issues. It would kick him out or kick me out. And every time we hit a nerve, then even one time, even got it to where one time it kicked him out and he couldn't come back. He couldn't come back for about a good 30, 45 minutes. Okay? And all of a sudden, I was by myself on the show. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell do I do? This is Lynn's show. Because I don't like to leave him, just hanging like that. That's just not the type of person I am. But I waited for him twice. This one show that we had together. And then the third time, he didn't come back until another 45 minutes and I had already left. So guess what
Yeah,
happened to the live?
yeah. It
The
just
live
went away.
disappeared.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the show was
the
actually
live.
proceeding since I never shut StreamYard off.
Yeah,
When I finally got
yeah.
back on, it completely knocked me off one computer. Come in here, and it wouldn't go back on. Cut the other computer on, this one, got kicked out of this one, and I finally got back on. Of course, the show was still running, although Chris had long gone, and I'd long been kicked out. But unless I switch the button to end stream, the show goes on,
Wow.
even though
Oh, and
there's
by the
nobody there.
way, Jess already said saying that she was gonna say that someone doesn't like our discussion. Well,
Yeah.
Jess, I'm gonna add to that. Honestly, I don't care what they don't like. This is our show. We're friends with Lynn, and me and Brittany did a show together, like we're doing it now. And personally, I just don't care if we hit a nerve on somebody that they didn't like what we discussed because we exposed them for who they are. And then along with our lovely haters that adore us gratefully, I can just say to the haters, you're just motivating me more. So just letting you guys know. That's all I gotta say to that, and I'll just leave it with that.
Mm.
Now, anything else would you like to say to add that to, Brittany? If you want to add anything to what I just said, you can go ahead and say it. Apparently, I guess they didn't like what we discussed, Britt.
Well, well, it's well to all the haters out there. We love you for talking about us.
Yeah.
Say,
So, oh, Britt,
What?
she's getting fuzzy. Something doesn't want her talking. You froze for a minute when you said that. You froze. Yeah,
oh, someone didn't like it.
yeah, exactly. But see, that's the thing we do is in the paranormal field and the researchers, we call people out. This is what we do. And like Ben says, we don't get the credit for what we do. The only thing that we do get is bashed, bullied, and battered for everything we call out. And they sit there and deny everything that we look up and say, oh, it's not true. There's no such thing as a Mothman. Oh, there's no such thing as Bigfoot. Bullshit. Yeah. So it's true what Lynn said. We don't get credit for what we do. Some of us work hard for that research. And it takes us maybe about a year, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes it even takes it a day. It just depends on how good you are when you research stuff like this. But like I said, Jess, we don't care what they don't like. So, yeah. So, Lynn, I can tell you right now, since you're having issues, I guess we offended people, I guess. Just what I'm being told.
Hmm. Well, it's happening less and less often. So something's going on and off somewhere, somehow, or being interfered with just sporadically. It's hard to tell what it is. The temperature change should not be affecting this late. 9 o'clock, maybe 10. I can blame it on it getting cool. At 12:25, I hesitate to blame it on the weather.
Yeah, because you have to try to kind of debunk it. Yeah, you gotta kind of debunk it. And that's just something that it goes to paranormal investigating. You try to debunk what you can debunk it. But if you can't debunk this, and all of a sudden we're talking about the Mothman, you could say it's just internet issues, but you know what I think it is? We hit a nerve. And again, we talked about something that has been talked about and probably not brought up on any shows. If there's any other shows that have talked about the Mothman, and I think we exposed Jeepers Creepers for the movie for what it really people thought it was, and thinking that Jeepers Creepers was not based on a true story. But if you look it up on YouTube for the people that are watching, if you look it up, Jeepers Creepers was based on a true story. Do your research. You'll be surprised what you find out. Isn't that right, Brittany?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And that was our research that we did. So we did our research for the night, if you ask me. And you know what, Brent? I think when you were talking, they didn't want you talking because you were glitching. So if you want to say what you said, go ahead and say it again. Because this time you're not glitching. Go ahead if you want to.
What I said?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
To all the haters out there, we love you. And to all the haters out there, we love you. Thanks for talking about us. And we don't care what you think.
Telling you, she's grown, guys. She's grown. And again, I have nothing to do with that. She's doing that on her own. And like Lynn, you know that since you've known her, people were just really judging her just because she didn't talk. She was observing just like you are. She was listening. And look at her
Right.
now. She's grown a lot since. She's grown a lot, and I'm very proud of her. Yeah, she's grown a lot. And I don't know if you see a big difference in her now. Like she's not even. Before, you know how when we were always in chat, she would always hide her face up to here. And look at her now; she's in camera. So that's a big growth. That she's coming out, and she's yeah, I'm very proud. So then, what do you see that's different from her from when you first met her? So do you see that's different?
I don't know. Difference, difference in attitude seems to be happier,
Yeah, she,
a little bit more talkative.
that's
It's
right.
easier to make her laugh.
I know, right? Oh my God,
I mean, how many times can you
but
make somebody laugh by screaming at them?
I don't know. You know what? I don't think you
It
can.
worked.
I don't
It
think,
worked.
yeah, it's amazing, and but you know what? I do feel that we did hit a nerve, and I'm gonna, you know what? I enjoy all the shows you do, Lynn, but this one was the icing on the cake. I think we did hit a nerve, and I'm just being told that we will be watched more than what we thought we were being watched. Because I think all the people that do not believe in Mothman, they didn't weren't aware of it. Well, now they are. And for anyone that saw Jeepers Creepers and you didn't believe that it was, you thought it was fiction, go watch the movie again and watch it very closely. And you research, you'd be surprised. I know I did, and I actually had good research, and I'm proud of you too for doing those little research when they made the movie. You did the research on the vehicle. You did a lot of research, even though it was a little bit. You know, we both did research together. So you did a good job. You did a very good job, and it just makes you sit there and wonder, like, what else is out there that we're not aware of. I think that there's other creatures underwater that we're probably not even aware of that exist. But is the government going to
But
tell us that?
you've got
Nah.
only less than 10% of the oceans have been explored. Most of the ocean's way too deep for us to go, except with a probe or in one of those diving bells,
Mm-hmm.
because the
Yeah,
pressure's
and
so
you know what's
great.
really
We
funny?
don't know what's
You
down
know,
there.
you know what's funny? How we're talking about the ocean. You know what really gets me wondering? Why is it that every time people try to go way down, and I get the pressure because it is deep, 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 deep underwater, so I can understand the pressure. But every time they go to Titanic, people die just to go and see that damn boat. Tons and tons and tons under the ocean, and people die. What is really to that theory to the Titanic? I think there's something paranormal underneath that Titanic. That's why people even try to bring it up. They try to actually bring up that boat, but think about it. That's I don't even know how much that boat even weighed, but I can just imagine that that boat weighed tons. So to
Yeah,
actually bring it out of the
even though
surface,
even though it's broken in half, bringing up even one half of it would be a major engineering job, especially since we would have to put something under it and float it up, and we can't get out there ourselves. It all had to be done by robot.
Yeah, yeah. I just find it amazing. Oh, and that's a good thing that what you said to it is a grave site. It's a graveyard. I totally agree with that. I do feel that it does have some kind of. It's funny how we're just talking about you when you talk about the graveyard. Well, if you look at the beginning of the show, Lynn had to actually put her names by tombstones, which is kind of creepy that we're talking about. That you're talking about the graveyard, and he put her banner uh with the tombstones on them. So that kind of just hit it right in the money. Yeah, it's probably a curse. I truly believe that too. Yeah,
But you know that the
and thinking.
Titanic caused the SS Eastland to sink and kill all those people in Chicago.
Oh wow.
The Eastland was about a year and a half after the Titanic, and it turned over because they had put a whole bunch of lifeboats up for everybody on board on the ship with a freshly added concrete deck, a third deck, which meant the ship was extremely top heavy. And when the people
Wow.
moved to one side of the boat, it started rocking back and forth and finally flipped over. And it killed almost the same number that the Titanic killed, with one difference. The Titanic, most of the people that died were crew. Most of the passengers were actually saved. With the Eastland, it was the opposite. Very small, a much smaller ship, much smaller crew, and so most of the deaths on the Eastland were passengers.
hmm Okay, well, I have a personal message from Jess, but it's a personal message. She had to head out. It's after 1:30 in the morning. Um, and that she said for you, Britt, that you did a good job. You did amazing. So that's coming from her directly. Um,
Yeah, I don't have to. I
so
don't
she
have to
said,
go along with Jess here because I've had a long day, uh,
I know.
and I cannot do the 7 hour 40 minute show I did last week.
I know. Well, we probably can head out because I know it's probably getting late. So we can probably head out because we were gonna stay on here till 1, but I know everybody's got probably stuff to do tomorrow. But Lynn, thanks for coming, having us on. I had a good time. Um, I guess we'll just cut it short. And for Britt, I'll give you
We
a call
we
in a
could
minute.
go we could go on to one, but I think we need to cut it off about one, maybe 5 minutes till. Then I can do my outro.
Well, okay. Well, okay, I was gonna ask you. Okay, then right now it's 12:36. Can we leave at 12:45? You only got like 5 more minutes. Then does that sound okay to you?
You say 12:45?
No, I mean right now on my end it shows 12:36, so we can head out at 12:45 if you want, and I'm fine with that.
Okay, we can do that.
Then we'll leave in about a couple of minutes. So,
Right. We've had a
um,
great discussion. We've had a lot of messages in the chat room that have been interesting. We still have 3 people watching the show. We had, I think, a total
amazing.
of, I think the most was 6 people watching the show. 6 people
hmm
left emojis. So that's pretty good for live. Of course, I don't worry too much
Yeah,
about the live. It's those people out there on Spotify, hello Spotify, and all the other podcast networks that'll see this show later at their convenience, or listen to it on the
yeah,
radio. Because there are a lot of
and
people
by
that listen to Spotify on their radio, without looking at the video.
And I will say this for everyone, before we leave, because we got a few minutes. Um, say thank you for our supporters out there. For everyone on YouTube, much love to you guys. We keep it real. We call it for what it is. And for everyone that's into the Mothman, and for the investigators out there, Watch Jeepers Creepers, it is linked to the Mothman. Um, it's been an amazing show as always. And for Brittany, I'm proud of you for doing that research for us, and we both are helping each other. So that's a good teamwork that we did together. Just want to
Appreciate
say
you
that
being
I'm
here,
really
Britt.
proud of you. Yeah, she did an awesome, she did a phenomenal job.
Oh, by the way, Chris, before we get out of here, a while ago, about 30 minutes ago, sometimes I picture stuff in my mind, and I was picturing the deck of a ship. I was about to ask you, are you planning on going on a cruise anytime soon? But then we started talking about the Titanic.
Well, honestly, I haven't really thought about it, but it's funny that you talk about that because I have been wanting to go. At one time, me and my mom, we were planning to go on a cruise on this big thing, but we never got to do that. I've thought about recently, and depending on what happens, because anything can happen during this time, I've thought about going to hit up California for some reason. I wanted to see the Alcatraz for some reason that I keep getting this pull to go over there. But as far as going on the boat, I haven't really thought of anything. But there must be a reason why you're bringing that up, because maybe I'm going to be traveling a lot, now that, I'm more like a free, to do what I want. But I know as I'm going to be traveling more likely, God willing, Brittany will probably be with me by that time. And I would love to take her with me if she wants to, if she can. But I do feel that there's going to be a lot of good things that are going to be coming our way. Um, so I'll keep that in mind. I'll let you know. But as of now, I'm not aware of any out of town uh, plans of going on a boat anywhere. But if we think of anything, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Because right now I can't think of anything on the top of my
But
head. I can't think of anything.
basically, I was predicting the future because we had not gone on to Titanic as a subject yet. It was a few minutes
Maybe there's
before
something.
we started talking about the Titanic. So I was actually anticipating our conversation,
Yeah.
which is strange.
All right. So I guess we'll probably head out. We got like about 4 minutes before we head out. So for everyone, you know how to get a hold of me. Um, if y'all
Oh, and by the
don't,
way,
just look me up on. Go
since
ahead.
we are talking about getting on out of here, next week's show, the one, the only, the great Bill Hauser.
All right, Bill. I can't be looking forward for that. So that's
Well,
gonna be kind of interesting.
so next week's
So
gonna be weird too because we're gonna be exploring the spirit box realm of Bill Hauser.
amazing, awesome. So before we
Oh
head
yeah,
out,
I also talked to Daniel Roberge. You don't know who Daniel Roberge is, but you've heard of the app that I use, EchoVox. Daniel Roberge is the creator.
oh wow, Mothman, Dogman, Bigfoot. Oh wow, that's Victoria. Wow,
Hmm. And
that is
you, you pointed out that you got into a relationship and are happier. I mentioned earlier at the top of the show that I'm getting into a relationship that I'm excited about. I have not worked inside as a part of a paranormal group on an investigation in years. I've been doing it by myself. It's a lone wolf. I'm now getting involved with a paranormal group that covers several cities in Louisiana. Shreveport, New Orleans, of course, and several other smaller cities in the Louisiana area. So I'm teaming up with them, and they are just expanding, just getting started down in New Orleans. But the Shreveport, which is closer to me, is one of their established locations. And this gives me an opportunity to go down south a few miles. And have you ever heard of the duo that got killed in their automobile? Two criminals. And what are their names? I'm drawing a blank.
Oh,
I'm getting tired.
I know, I know, but I know we'll probably head out, so we got 2 minutes. So for everyone, thank you for having us on, Lynn. I was much love to you. Oh my God, this was amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And for the rest of you, you know how to contact me. And for Lynn, we'll always stay in touch. And thank you for
Yeah.
having Brittany on with me. And
Brittany, appreciate
I'll
you
give
being
you a
on.
call.
Chris,
Thank
it's
you,
fun as
Lynn.
always, weird as always. And we'll do it again sometime.
All right, guys. I'm out.
Good night. God bless. Sleep well. And
I'm heading out.
watch the eclipse on the news and on YouTube. It's going to be live on YouTube. I probably will be broadcasting live, and hopefully I will have enough speed for my camera to work, so you can actually see how dark it'll get here.
All right, then. So, you know how to get out, right? Brett, you just hit the end, the leave button, and we'll head out.
Yeah,
But thank Lynn.
video.
All right, then.
Yep.
Yeah, you just hit the.
Yeah.
All right, then.
Good. You just say
Let's
good
see.
night. Hit the button.
Good night, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned because you never know when we might just come back. We might just come back. See you later, alligator.
You say that, and I'll live by you. Good night, Brittany.
Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody. Hey, we will be next week. The great one and only Bill Hauser. We're going to explore the world of his world of ghost boxing. And as I said earlier, Dan Roberts and I are talking about doing a live EchoVox session from here with the creator of the EchoVox. So we're going to work on that and see when we're going to have that show on. We've got lining up guests for next month. So I've got some interesting guests so far, starting out with Bill Hauser next week. Of course, Chris was very exciting tonight. And be going to, like I said, the spirit world once again with Bill Hauser next week. But I will be on the air right after lunch, or my time, Monday afternoon. I hopefully will have enough internet to have where the camera will be running, and I don't have the special camera equipment to actually show the sun. It may be a tad cloudy here. That may be hard to do, but you will see how dark it can be during a total solar eclipse. And I'm right here where it's 97.8% total. So it's going to be dark for a little bit. Temperature could drop as much as 7, 8, 10 degrees during the total eclipse. And if it's Tuesday night, I will be having a Live Echo Box session on Tuesday night, probably 11:30, and we'll go from there. Probably have not doing Saturday night shows right now because I was running out of video, and I may be getting that back up in a couple of weeks. I've been kind of tied up. Lots of changes going on here. Lots of stuff going on, but hopefully that's winding down, and maybe I can get back to the Saturday night shows. Got the Tuesday Night Ghost Box kind of cranked back up, and maybe I can get the Saturday night show moving along. All right. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Bones, get us out of here. Hit the outro. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for watching our show. Be sure to tune in to next week as once again we journey way down south into Bayou Country for another heaping portion of Southern Fried Paranormal with Len Dorman and Bones. Make sure to like, share, and follow. Y'all come back now. You hear?